Hi everyone! Well, this is gonna be different. So here's a gaming laptop. Well, what's left of it anyway. This Acer Nitro 5 is more smashed than my bank account after holiday shopping. Look at it. Don't worry though, because we're gonna restore it into amazing shape. So keep watching. Let's begin with removing the battery. We've got two Phillips screws that have to go. And just like that, the battery's out. Kinda dusty, but we'll take care of that later. Next, we disconnect the CMOS battery and everything else basically. The trackpad, the keyboard, and the keyboard backlight. Next is our charging port, which has a barrel connector. I think that's what they're called. I've got no idea why they're called like that though. This thing was harder to remove than gum on a sidewalk. I honestly was afraid it's gonna rip out the connector, but it survived. Here we have the display connector, which came out easily enough, and the Wi-Fi antennas. Time to remove the motherboard, which is held down by 3 screws, but since we have to move the motherboard over to a new chassis, I'll take out the fans as well. Each fan has 2 screws. That's it, the motherboard's out. Wasn't very hard, was it? Now we have to remove these 2 fans, the heatsink, and clean up everything. To do that, we have to remove 7 screws. You guys will be amazed at what this heatsink has inside. Did you or do you own the Nitro 5? Comment below. Now we can disconnect the fans and remove the heatsink. The thermal paste was like glue. I struggled a bit to take it out, but I got it out. Let's place it to the side for a moment and tell you guys what we have here. So here we have our 8th gen Intel i5, which is non-removable, and next to it is the Nvidia GPU and the GPU memory. I think it's a GTX 1050 Ti with 4 gigs. But here's the true horror. Forget it was broken into pieces. I don't think this laptop was ever cleaned. Look at the radiator. It's like it made its own little rug of dust and hair and God knows what. Absolutely disgusting. So, let's get to cleaning. We'll start with the fans. I get a brush and start dusting these things. Should have worn a mask. If you're more into phone restorations, check out my playlist by clicking on the pop-up banner above or in the description. You'll see restorations for the Galaxy S7 Edge, iPhone 8 Plus, and many more. Oh, and like and subscribe, or don't, but if you do, you'll make me really happy. Now let's get to the nightmare fuel part, the heatsink. These thermal pads should be replaced as well ideally, but I don't have any, so I'll just give them a quick clean. Brushing as much dust as possible all around, and then try not to inhale all the nasty stuff that comes out of the radiator, because that's probably germ city and I do not need them as tenants. I'm trying to brush away everything as best as possible, but it's gonna need some compressed air to make sure the inside is dust free as well. Now I can give the motherboard a nice brushing, and I went outside off camera and used an air can or spray, I don't know what the proper term is, to get rid of any dust from every nook and cranny. After that, I'll use a Q-tip with isopropyl alcohol to clean the old thermal paste from the processor and GPU, because it was concrete by this point, and do the same thing on the heatsink side, so we can add our new thermal paste later. and my friends, this is the chassis we'll use for our motherboard. Looks a lot better, right? Well, let's get to it. I have to remove this fan first because it's a bit thinner than the ones we have, so I guess the chassis is from a similar but different model. Then I'll just give it a clean because of our nemesis today, dust. Same goes for our battery, and we can begin our reassembly, starting with the before mentioned battery. Then we can gently place our motherboard roughly in position and add our new thermal paste on the processor and GPU. Just add a small amount, don't need to flood the thing. After that we can add the heatsink and start to screw everything back. And I'm making sure the screws are nice and tight. And now we can reinstall the fans. How are you finding the process so far? Easy? Hard? Comment below. Now here I wanted to show you something. You can see a triangle symbol next to some screw holes. Well, that is to help you know where you need to add a screw when you are at the board level. Most manufacturers do this, by the way. So let's do just that and add the screws where the symbols are. I also have to swap this USB board with the other one because the flex cable doesn't match. I also had to take the main battery out again because I had to put the CMOS battery from the old housing underneath it. Now I can start routing and connecting all the cables to the motherboard, starting with the Wi-Fi cables and all the other flex cables we disconnected earlier. Here I wanted to show you another thing. The chassis are not exactly the same. This screw hole does not exist on the other chassis, so we'll be left with one extra screw. Now I can reconnect the power connector, and another difference is this chassis had only one cooling fan and our motherboard has two. So we'll remove this rubber placeholder and put the lid to close our laptop. I'm going around the sides to make sure it clicks in place everywhere and looks good. Now we can add the final touches. This is the hard drive caddy, we'll just fix it in place with screws and close it up. After which I simply screw the back cover in place with 15 screws. After that I close up the memory access and give the exterior a clean. I got a couple memory modules on different frequencies to see if it even works, because as some of you might know, if no RAM and memory is installed, the laptop will not post. So with the memory installed, we see our restoration was successful. We absolutely nailed it. And there you have it, guys, the Acer Nitro 5 restored. We went from this trash to this amazing and fully working laptop. Thank you so much for watching, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Also, don't forget to check out the phone restoration playlist. Bye!